I'm Casey Claiborne, and thanks for watching this CrimeWatch YouTube exclusive, where we take a look back at recent crime stories that have been making headlines in our area. It was a deadly weekend here in Austin. Police are investigating 5 incidents that left 6 people dead. 4 of those incidents have been ruled homicides. Fox 7 Austin's Amanda Ruiz has more.
This is being investigated as Austin's 36th homicide of 2023. It's Austin's 37th homicide. It's Austin's 38th homicide of 2023.
This past weekend, Austin police responded to 4 homicides, 3 of which were on Sunday.
It is a very busy night here in Austin.
The first homicide of the weekend happened on Saturday at the Westlake Apartments on North Capitol Texas Highway. Police got a call at 6:40 in the morning reporting a shooting within the complex. There, police found 45-year-old Jared Mason with gunshot wounds. He died on scene.
At this time, I don't have any suspect information. There is no one in custody, but we are actively working this.
On Sunday, police were called out to Southeast Austin for a welfare check after a caller told police they haven't heard from a family member who lived there in days. After not being able to make contact with anyone inside the home, police gained entry.
They discovered 2 deceased individuals with gunshot wounds. Both individuals were pronounced deceased.
APD has identified the 2 as Ava Carol Dotson-Penton and Timothy McDonald. Investigators believe McDonald shot and killed his wife before killing himself. At 8:28 p.m., police were called out to an abandoned building on 52nd and Cameron.
When officers arrived on scene, they did in fact locate a male near that building with obvious trauma to the body.
Police say the initial investigation reveals 2 people who knew each other were involved in a verbal altercation, which led to one person shooting the other.
At this time, I don't have any suspect information, and nobody is in custody. We do have a person of interest at this time.
The last homicide of the weekend was at a gas station on Airport Boulevard. There, police found a teenager with gunshot wounds. He later died on scene. After talking with witnesses, police believe he was targeted after being told multiple people were involved in a gun battle. Police are investigating this case along with the other 3. A deadly weekend that APD officers admit was overwhelming. I
know the detectives are somewhat overwhelmed due to just having a shortage of them at this point in time, especially during a busy evening like this. But I can assure you that we're doing everything we can to locate the individuals responsible for these particular actions.
Amanda Ruiz, Fox 7 Austin News.
The Texas Department of Public Safety says its troopers will continue to patrol Austin despite the mayor and city manager's decision to suspend its partnership with APD. Mayor Kirk Watson says he is standing behind that decision, which he says was made for several reasons, including a recent traffic stop that had troopers pulling their guns on a father and his 10-year-old son. Fox 7 Austin's Amanda Ruiz has that story as well and finds there are mixed reactions from both officials and the public on the decision to suspend the DPS partnership. But the mayor isn't backing down.
I promise you, things were not done in haste.
Mayor Kirk Watson backed his decision to suspend the City of Austin's partnership with DPS.
It's a sign that people are thinking through and trying to provide the good government and the good policy making that our constituents deserve.
Mayor Watson says he can't ignore the DPS partnership brought in a lot of positives for the city during a police staffing crisis, including a decrease in violent crime, traffic fatalities, and response times. But he says the recent incidents involving DPS troopers in Austin could not be ignored. We
decided that it was an appropriate time to suspend the partnership that we had with the Texas Department of Public Safety.
This is one of the incidents Mayor Watson is referring to, a story first brought to you by Fox 7 Austin.
Close the door!
On Sunday evening, DPS troopers pulled over Carlos Meza for his lack of plates. In the video, Meza pulls into his driveway. He told Fox 7 he was unaware that he was being pulled over. The video shows his 10-year-old son Angel open the door and begin to get out of the car. His dad says Angel had to use the bathroom.
Get back in the car!
In the video, the troopers draw their weapons, but keep the guns pointed down. It was when his father begins to ask what they're doing and get out of the car himself that the troopers point their weapons at him.
Get back in the car! Let me make my traffic stop! Get back in the car right now!
I think this might have been the incident that kind of, made everyone here at the city kind of do a double take. But this isn't the first instance of folks feeling unsafe.
Councilmember Zoe Caudry stands behind the decision to suspend the DPS partnership.
I just don't think there's any justification, the fact that the gun was pulled out to begin with, whether it be pointed to the ground or pointed at a person's father.
Other council members like Mackenzie Kelly admit they did not see this coming. She believes DPS was an asset to the city during its police staffing crisis.
The suspension of the partnership between DPS and APD came as quite the surprise to me.
Carlos Meza, the father at the center of all this, spoke to Fox 7 Austin over the phone to give his reaction to the suspension.
Well, yeah, it makes everybody in Austin feel better.
The mayor is now calling on the Austin Police Association to come back to the table to create a police contract. He says that's one surefire way to help with the staffing issue. Thousands of dollars worth of personal property have disappeared from a Hutto storage facility, and officials believe one person is responsible for it. Fox 7 Austin's Lauren Rangel spoke with one of the victims.
Between the loss, the trailer and the contents was about $50,000.
That's how much Charles Partridge says went missing when a man drove off with his trailer at Central Texas Boat and RV Storage in Hutto.
I came to pick it up on May the 16th, and it was no longer here.
Inside, he says, was crucial bed bug treatment equipment, something that's now costing him thousands of additional dollars.
I've lost some long-term customers and clients, management portfolios that I no longer am doing because I couldn't provide the work.
Maybe what he misses the most, a paramotor.
It was the last gift that I received from my mom that has passed away. So that's part of the hardest part of this, the loss, you know. Losing property sucks, period. The trailer and the equipment is replaceable, but I never get a last gift from my mom.
While trying to move on, he's also pushing to see prosecution against the man police arrested. The district attorney's office confirmed Jason Adams was arrested to not just this burglary, but another one from March.
Online it shows that he does have a $50,000 surety bond for the other trailer that he stole from this facility. But mine is pending.
As of Friday night, Adams still has no action, undecided prosecution next to the offense from May. The district attorney's office says it reviews every charge submitted and tries to make the best decision in a short time frame. And no action does not mean there will not be prosecution. For Adams' case, the DA says his office filed for theft between $25,000 and $30,000 around 3:30 p.m. Friday.
But in the meantime, it still hasn't changed the status.
There are new developments in the case against accused serial killer Raul Meza. Detectives recently went searching for evidence in Pflugerville. Meza was previously convicted of one murder. He has been charged with 2 more since his arrest in May. Fox 7 Austin's John Grinjak was there as Austin police led the search.
Austin police, along with Pflugerville PD and the FBI, spending much of the day Wednesday searching this field following leads related to accused serial killer Raul Meza.
I mean, finally come out the house and hear that the FBI is investigating is kind of wild, to say the least.
The field is off Old Austin Pflugerville Road near FM 1825 and Heatherwild, not far from Pflugerville Middle School. Dozens of searchers, including about 14 FBI agents, spent hours searching through the brush here on foot, as well as on ATVs. They brought back evidence from the field to the mobile command center they had set up, but no word on exactly what they found. As far as we know, this is the first search of its kind since Raul Meza was arrested by the Lone Star Fugitive Task Force back on May 29th.
Here's a serial killer that justice was not served.
Meza admitted to police over the phone that he was responsible for the murder of 80-year-old Jesse Fraga in Round Rock earlier that month. Cops also say he confessed to the rape and murder of 65-year-old Gloria Lofton in East Austin in 2019.
He's harmed my mother. He killed an elderly man. And then what other people in the decade in between?
Police believe he may have been committing murders since soon after his release on parole in 1993 for the 1982 rape and killing of 8-year-old Kendra Page in South Austin.
Make him serve his 30 years. This wouldn't have happened.
The massive search of this field happening just feet away from this apartment complex where, understandably, residents have been left stunned.
Just a little frightening. So I've heard about the serial killings, but I haven't heard too much about, like, you know, it hasn't reached into like Pflugerville.
Austin police are currently looking into at least around a dozen cold case homicides Mesa may be responsible for, and this search may very well be tied to one of them.
So we are backtracking it to 1996 and even earlier. So there is a good possibility that we will find additional cases as well.
It's unclear exactly what the search turned up, but Austin police are continuing to investigate, along with Pflugerville police and the FBI. And officials say it's probably a good bet there will be more searches like this in the weeks and months to come. A 27-year-old woman is in jail accused of killing a pedestrian in Northeast Austin while driving under the influence. Police say Marina Falcon de la Rosa hit a boat trailer parked on Pecan Brook Drive around 11:15 on July 11th. Then she hit 30-year-old Janica Molina, killing her. Falcon de la Rosa is charged with intoxication manslaughter. This is Austin's 52nd fatal crash of 2023. Molina's family recently held a balloon release to honor her life. If you have information on this crash, call APD's Vehicular Homicide Unit at the number at the bottom of your screen. You can also submit an anonymous tip online by visiting austincrimestoppers.org. A teenager in San Antonio was arrested after stealing a car in Driftwood. This comes after 2 neighborhoods in Hays County seem to have been targeted. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis has that story.
My husband walked out to get in his truck. He said, "Your car's gone," and mine was gone. Just gone, evaporated.
Last week in the middle of the night, someone took Kristen Robinson's car that was parked in her driveway. She thought her car was safe.
I have one of those keyless entry systems that has the key code on the outside of it, so you can't get in it unless you have the code for it to get into it, but apparently that isn't good enough.
It wasn't, and inside were her wallet and keys, so the thief took off with it.
I really feel frustrated and violated by it.
She isn't the only person who's experienced auto theft or burglaries.
We do have an issue with property crime, and that's just not a Hays County problem because it's a crime of opportunity.
In just the first 6 months this year, the Hays County Sheriff's Office reports 82 vehicle burglaries. In Robinson's neighborhood in particular, Rimrock and Driftwood, and the Sunfield neighborhood in Buda have reported almost a dozen vehicle burglaries this year.
They're going to go to bigger neighborhoods where they can get in and out very easily and get back to wherever they came from.
The teenager who took Robinson's vehicle went back to San Antonio. Robinson says with the help from LoJack, a GPS system in her vehicle, San Antonio police officers were able to find her car and the teen who took it. 17-year-old Johnny Martinez was arrested for third-degree felony theft of a vehicle. In the past year, he's been arrested for unauthorized use of a vehicle, evading arrest, and theft of a vehicle.
We're at a time and age that the criminal element is around. No matter what town you live in, no matter what county you live in, the criminals will come to you if they think they're going to have an opportunity to be able to be successful in committing that crime.
And in the summer months, stay alert.
The kids are out of school, and sometimes these bigger crime organizations will target juveniles to do these crimes for them so they don't get in as much trouble.
Deputy Hippolito encourages residents to lock the doors to their vehicles and don't leave anything inside. Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
Williamson County officials are tackling an illegal dumping problem. In a cornfield in Thrall, the constable's office found a pile of stuff like countertops and sinks. They tracked down a suspect. Charges might be on the way. Fox 7 Austin's Lauren Rangel has that story.
We worked so hard, all year, and then somebody comes and dumps trash in the fields.
About 900 pounds of material dumped and abandoned in a cornfield.
I guess more people move into the area. You see a lot more of it, people dumping.
The Williamson County Constable for Precinct 4 says they wind up with 80 to 110 cases of illegal dumpings a month. And per year, it can cost them up to $350,000 to clean up.
Construction debris, concrete, busted walls, floors, you name it, we see it.
Dumping sites draw critters, can make it harder for farmers and their equipment, even pose as a fire hazard.
If you dump on us, we're going to hold you accountable. We're going to give you an option to clean it up. If you don't want to play our game, you don't have to. but we're going to put you in jail for it.
Williamson County offers a program for first-time offenders. It's a deal they say the culprit of the pile along County Road 434 in Thrall took. Fox 7 caught a group coming back to clean up. They didn't want to talk.
Any regrets?
We didn't do all of this, but...
Whoever did will have to show proof the items went to a landfill, and their charge will drop to a Class C misdemeanor.
We do that because I don't feel it's right to have taxpayers pay to clean this up. And so if we can make the offender come and clean it up, I think that's the best thing.
The best way to avoid a charge, not do it at all.
It's not going to hurt to leave it in your car a little longer and wait till you get to the house to throw, you say, a bottle away. And for these guys, it's not going to cost you that much more. You go sit in the line, it's not going to kill you, and dump it at the dump.
If you think you see illegal dumping happening, officials ask you get a photo, but only without putting yourself in harm's way. You can call the Williamson County Constable's Precinct 4 office or message them on social media. Austin Energy is warning commercial customers about an increase in copper thefts. There have been more than 20 thefts in the city in the first 6 months of the year. Fox 7 Austin's Angela Shin reports on how this is affecting service and costing a lot of money.
I don't understand people whose mentality has fallen that low in life.
Delwyn Goss says he's done electrical work for years and after retiring started helping a nonprofit that builds homes for low-income families. Some days he would find copper wiring cut out.
They didn't bring the tools to do a good job of it. And, you know, they would do thousands of dollars worth of damage to get $50 worth of scrap copper. And they would commit a felony on top of everything else to do that.
He says it even happened when his own home was being built in 2007 by the same nonprofit.
To steal from a nonprofit that's trying to make it a better world, it's like stealing from a church.
Austin Energy says more thefts have happened recently at different types of commercial buildings, including theaters, gyms, grocery stores, and empty buildings. Sometimes lines are still energized, which creates a safety hazard. Crews are hoping to catch thieves in the act by responding to meter outages at commercial buildings, because that could mean someone is messing with the wires. Austin Energy says these thefts drain resources, both in terms of staff and materials.
It's clearly an organized group of people that know what they're doing, know how to de-energize electrical components, steal what is valuable, and then get away with it.
Goss says last year thieves hit his friend's business in Southeast Austin.
He got cancer and was laying in the hospital dying, and a building that he owned, the tenant moved out. Somebody went to his building and cut the copper out of it, and they broke into it. They were robbing a man that was dying. It just scumbags.
His friend and his family having to pay over $50,000 out of pocket for repairs. Goss says when he heard about the recent thefts,
I wonder if it's the same people. They actually cut that copper out while the system was energized. They took a hell of a risk. A hell of a risk, and I hope they make a mistake someday. I don't have any sympathy for them.
If you see anything suspicious around electrical equipment, call 311. If you see what appears to be a theft in progress, call 911. Well, thanks for watching the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch YouTube exclusive. Our Crime Watch stories run each Monday on Fox 7 Austin News at 9. For more on the stories highlighted in this episode, you can head to our website, fox7austin.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the Fox 7 Austin YouTube channel.